Hello everybody and welcome to my kitchen. I'm your host, Lindsay, and tonight I'm going to be cooking my very first video over here on this channel. This channel is just new. I do have a second channel, but I'm kind of doing some cleaning and rearranging of everything, so this will be the primary cooking channel for me now. Tonight I'm going to be making some creamy bacon potato soup. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we've got our package of bacon here. Just going to cut it open. And we'll use probably about, well, you know what? Let's use the whole thing because nobody's going to complain about too much bacon. Pull out all of it. It's already nicely put together, so now all we have to do is slice. Cut it into chunks. My knives are crap, and if you've come here from my other channel, you already know this. But if you're new here, yeah, my knives are complete crap. I need a complete new set of knives. It takes me way longer than it should to do anything with these shitty knives. But I get the job done. Maybe slower than I could, but that's why I give myself plenty of time. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna cut it all up into bite-sized chunks, and then we'll fry it until it's nice and crispy. I'm going to keep on going with this, and I'll come back once we get it to the oven, or to the stove, sorry. Okay, so as you can probably hear, the bacon is sizzling nicely over in the pan. So in the meantime, I'm going to just chop up 4 cloves of garlic, I use 4 stalks of celery, but I have 2 tiny little ones, so I'm using 6. And then 1 onion. We'll chop that up as well while we wait for the bacon to cook. Just show a little bit of everything, and then I'll come back when we're ready to move on. Otherwise, this video will be too long. So basically, we're just gonna chop everything up here. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's just going into your stomach, and anyways, just roughly dice. Okay, so our bacon is done. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it over to this paper towel lined plate. See, it's nice and crispy, and it will continue to crisp up while it sits. This burner is still on because we're not done with it just yet. So I just have it at hot, medium. It's throwing some heat at my arm. I'm just going to scoop all of this bacon into here, and then we're going to put our chopped vegetables that we did, our garlic, celery, and our onions. Put it in the pan and put it over here to cook and soften up. Okay, we're just gonna let these, the onion and the celery and the garlic cook for a few minutes in that bacon grease until it softens up a little bit. And we'll be able to move on to our next step, which will be potatoes. Okay, you guys, so now this is where this recipe gets very customizable. See, you can use any kind of potato that you want, and you can peel it if you want, or leave your skin on, whatever you prefer. I've tried it both ways, and I personally like the red potatoes with the skin left on. But you can peel them if that's what you prefer. This part, the potatoes, doesn't matter whether it's skin on or skin off, doesn't matter. This part is completely customizable to however you like it. So what we're gonna do is just dice up about 4 to 6 little potatoes into bite-sized chunks like this, and set them aside. I'm going to be putting them directly into my big soup pot. Okay, there you can see all of our potatoes are chopped up. I did 7 small to medium potatoes because that's exactly how many I had left. Now we're just going to fill up our pot with chicken broth. And I believe I will be using about 10 cups of chicken broth. And I mix up my own using this Knorr chicken broth powder, if it will focus. So I'll get to that next, and then we'll get it on the stove and start adding the rest of our spices and stuff. Okay guys, so I ended up adding about 16 cups of chicken broth, and I'm just gonna throw in about a quarter, well, half a teaspoon probably worth of thyme leaves. I'm doubling the recipe that I have, but I will put the original recipe in the description for you. We're gonna bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 10 to 12 minutes until these potatoes are starting to get tender. We're gonna bring it to a boil, and then we'll reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. I guess that makes more sense. Okay, so for this recipe, I'm doubling it like I mentioned, but the original recipe calls for 1 cup of heavy cream. So I'll be using 2 cups of heavy cream. However, let's face it, I'm cheap. So I'm gonna be making my own using butter and flour and milk. So I thought that we could do that together so you could see how I make heavy cream while we wait for our potatoes to boil. So I've got 2 cups of milk in my measuring cup, and I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of flour, and then I've got a little bit of melted butter in here. This is unsalted butter. Now I'll just take this trusty little whisk and we'll just whisk it up. And you can see it's thickening already. So this is for a recipe this small, like there's no sense buying heavy cream. Like I don't use it enough to go out and buy it all the time. So this is a quick, easy, inexpensive way to get heavy cream without going and buying the store-bought stuff. So our soup is starting to boil, as you can see. So I'm just going to turn the heat down to medium, and we're going to cover it. And we're going to let it simmer like this for about 10 minutes, and I'll stir it occasionally. Okay, in the meantime, while we wait for the heavy cream to simmer for another 5 minutes, I put a little bit of water into this measuring cup, and I'm going to dissolve about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch in it. I'll use this cute little eggy weggy whisk, and we're just gonna make a slurry. Just like that. I'm gonna add back in our vegetables now. They're nice and soft, but they will continue cooking in the last few minutes it takes to cook this soup. Get all that good garlic and everything that's sticking in there. There we go. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Now we're going to take our cornstarch slurry that we just made and pour that in. Stir in the cornstarch slurry, and we're going to let that simmer for 1 minute. Okay, now we're just going to put a little sprinkle of cayenne, not lots, just a tiny bit. Some salt and pepper. And we're going to throw in half of our bacon. That should be good. Piece. Okay, I've spooned it into bowls, and I must say it looks absolutely amazing. So every bowl, I'm just going to top it off with a little bit of our reserved bacon. And some grated cheese. Now it's ready to eat. Okay, there we have our bowls of creamy bacon potato soup. Sorry about my lighting. You will learn that about me. If you've come from my other channel, you already know the struggles. Okay, everybody, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. This channel is brand new. I will be getting a regular upload schedule figured out here really soon. And I look forward to seeing you for tomorrow night's supper. Bye.